Welcome back to some more War Soulstorm action. It's going to be a 3 versus 3 replay on the Cassolution map, and yes, it was submitted by a guy called Kovas in game. I unfortunately can't remember his name. Contacted me for YouTube originally, but there we go. Apparently it's should be quite a game indeed. So yes, bottom left team is going to consist of Sir Tomic as the Space Marines, MC Diner as the Orcs, and Cosmonaut A as the Space Marines. Just a little paint scheme, little fist and everything. And there we go. And top right team consists of Ken Hooker 2 as the Tau, and Vodka Bearer, interesting name, as the Dark Elder. Also got Govas as the Tau, so pretty heavy on the Tau actually. Many people's opinion they're really overpowered, but we'll see what will happen in any case in this game. We'll just switch to the Orcs perspective. So there we go, yeah, Govas is playing up there, the guy who submitted the video. So, should be in for one hell of a match. Apparently going to be jam-packed, full of action, excitement, and yeah, just constant fighting all over the map, I'm sure. So we'll just fast forward things a bit. Seeing pretty standard things across the board really. Two generators for MC Donner, so it's not something you see too often. Usually you'd only see one generator, if that's from the Orcs this quickly on, but there you go. And in case, yeah, Govas finally coming across Tomic's Space Marines. Actually, I think I have done some commentaries on replays that involve Sir Tomic, I'm pretty damn sure. Yes, I did actually play a recent War Soulstorm game myself as the Battle Sisters, but unfortunately I forgot to save the replay, so it's not really going to help too much. In any case, Tomic's Space Marine is going to come in to do a bit of harassment. Of course, Govas upgrading existing posts there, so the Space Marine is going to be forced to go somewhere else, or just run around and not really do too much, to say the least. At the same time, we do have Vesper Stinglings attaching, sorry, not attaching, but attacking the Chapel Barracks of Cosmonaut. Looks like there's no plasma generator. So yeah, I guess they're just going for the nearest thing they can find. I'm surprised actually not really seeing any troops yet from Cosmonaut. Should have got his force commander out a bit sooner, but oh well, what can you do? In case, Space Marines going to be decapturing the relic, going to be losing all their members. I don't know if they'll even be able to decapture the relic in time actually. Probably not, especially the warriors continuing to fire on them, and yep, unfortunately, yes, Atomic been forced to give up there. Bit of a loss for him, losing an entire squad of Space Marines, and they were partially reinforced as well, so not too good at all. He's going to be forced to retreat. At the same time, though, we do have Scout Marines. Okay. And the Force Commander coming in as well to do a bit of damage, taking out the builder unit. Listing post is not going to be constructed. Of course, these God, these bloody stealths is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Shooting Space Marine troops at point blank range and yet not revealing it themselves, which I don't know what's exactly is the rationale behind stealth like that, being able to fire at point blank range and all that, but yeah, what can you do? Space Marine squad finally getting taken out. So good combination of Vesper Stingings and fire warriors, just regular warriors, to be a bit of a pain in the ass really. And these Vesper Stingings by Ken Kuto continuing to do a bit of harassment. So Scout Marines unfortunately getting innards torn out by the looks, so it's very painful to watch indeed. But still they managed to defend their base, and they are building a plasma generator, so we'll see what happens. Shooter Boys also coming in against the Vesper Stingwings, which for some reason are actually going to be engaging the Shooter Boys at ranged combat, and actually managing to kill off one of the members. That's kind of funny. But on behold, they're going to be jumping around. The Force Commander is going to try to shoot them, but yeah, Vesper Stingwings, they're the only unit in the game, I'm pretty sure, they can actually jump 3 times in a row before needing to recharge their jump ability, which in my opinion is kind of ridiculous. I mean, the Tau can get them literally at the beginning of the game, that's when they become available, and they can jump 3 times in quick succession. I mean, come on, man. I mean, giving a faction jump troops at the very beginning of the game is one thing, but making them able to jump 3 times in a row before needing to go on to cool down for that ability, that's just I don't know what the hell the developers were thinking, but oh well. Then again, also object to the decision to allow turrets to be built anywhere. Seems rather bizarre. They're meant to be defensive structures, for God's sake, but oh well. Indeed. In any case, we have fully reinforced warriors, as well as the Archon squad coming in to do a bit of damage to the Listing Post. Listing Post actually just targeting Vesper Stingwings, so might be able to take them out before it gets taken out itself, but yeah, as you can see, the top right team does seem to have things pretty much in the bag really. The initial harassment of the Space Marines and Force Commander completely and utterly failing for Tomek, And the harassment, on the other hand, of the Vesper Stingwings for Kin Kukatu, well, managing to keep the troops of Space Marines and the Orcs in their base, so not too shabby. Just leaving them on range like that. I'm not really sure if I agree with that. In any case, there we go, managing to jump them out of there. Just like that. Tomek saying okay, to say that he's getting attacked by two at once, which is indeed the case, and yep, hopefully have someone to help out. We'll see what happens. And Sir Tomek actually is at tier 2 already. I didn't even notice that actually. He's actually going to be casting the Psychic Inquisition ability. Not really sure. Of course. Yep. Psychic Inquisition ability is going to be doing over effect damage to the Archon squad. So very good use of Psychic Inquisition ability actually. Leaving the Grey Knights on ranged stance there, I noticed, and yeah, letting the Archon squad come to them. Fortunately, yeah, the Grey Knights, without proper commander support, so going up against enemy commanders is going to be a little bit tricky, especially since they weren't really reinforced either. And of course the Archon squad can also reinforce as well. Another thing I've just noticed as well, that we've got invisible mandrakes running around as well, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. Well, you know, one Grey Knight's still remaining, but Tomek has certainly seen better days to say the least. Can't tell. What he's doing is just forcing back the shooters with nice little solar pulse ability, and yeah, they'll be forced to retreat. Space Marine guy here, Cosmonaut, doesn't really seem to be doing too much, from what I can see. Bizarre. Oh, well, what can he do? And speaking of which, we actually do have a commander finally coming out for Sir Tomek, I think. Where is he? Because I'm pretty sure I saw that ability being used on the Warriors. Oh, there we go, yep, the chaplain's come out. Unfortunately, came out a little bit too late to be attached to the Grey Knight squad, and on his own, he's got kind of crappy health. We'll have a look at this nice little sync kill. Down he goes. Kind of sucks to be killed by a bloody Archon. But there you go. What can you do? What the hell? I'm not sure why the big mech. Oh, okay. That's why we treat him to take out the stealth suits. I'm not too sure. Stealth suits, yep, they are being upgraded with the fusion blasters as well, so a bit of a pain in the ass. That means the tower player is also at tier 2. And really, at this moment, it looks like the bottom left team is most certainly going to lose. The top right team has just managed to maintain the pressure on them. Vesper Stingwing squads, both of them, I'm pretty sure, managing to survive, so very good for harassment, while the initial harassment of Govus's base was pretty devastating to Sir Tomek's forces, but they didn't really do too much in return, aside from delaying the Vesper Stingwing harassment, I suppose, just a bit. So, yeah, I'm surprised actually that this will go on for 1 hour. It looks like the bottom left team is pretty much on the ropes here. We'll just have a look at map control. Well, I suppose the critical locations, games are done on controlling one, can controlling the other, but yeah. It really does look like a foregone conclusion. Speaking of which, what the... Oh, okay. Vesper Stingwing decided just to stick around for a Kinhokutu. Rather bizarre actually is letting him stick around like that. Is Micro was pretty good with them beforehand. Got a skull probe coming in, despite the fact that the Big Mech himself is a detector, but there you go. Oh, speaking of which, we actually do have an attempted harassment by Sir Tomek, just sending in Grey Knights without any support. I would not agree to that at all. I mean, the sort of thing might be able to work if you go with a fast tech and you're able to keep your opponent off balance, and then you go with things like Grey Knights and all that for the finishing blow along with the Force Commander as well, but possibly the Chaplain, depending on how quickly you can take up. But just on their own, opponents at tier 2, I would definitely not agree to that, to say the least. Vesper Stingwings taking out Scouts, I think. I'm not really too sure. Maybe it was the stealth suits, but yeah, they're going to be a massive pain in the ass. Thankfully, Dono can at least teleport his troops around, but yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass to use them. And speaking of which, we also do have Warriors coming in with the attached Superids. From what I can see, we don't have Poison Blade research done though, so probably have Soul Seeker Ammunition research done. Although, no, we do have invisibility research for the Mandrakes though, so... Yeah, as you can see there, if you could look very carefully, I don't know if they'll show up on the video there, they're just going to be running around. Indeed. And my god, what the hell is Vodka doing with these guys? Just using them to peek? I'm not entirely sure. In any case, have a bit of a triple hero thing going on for Cosmonaut, or at least he would have a triple hero thing. Ah yes, if he had a Grey Knight, which indeed he does. Not really sure why he's sending out his heroes on their own. He should, at least should send the Chaplain out as well, but oh well, what can you do? Grey Knights are actually managing to last a pretty decent while actually, given the fact that they're basically taking on the entire tower base all by their own, so using a Psychic Inquisition was not really doing too much damage. They're going to try to retreat, but no, they'll just get caught in the crossfire, which kind of sucks. Not really sure why Sotomac even bothered to reinforce them. I'm pretty sure he was reinforcing them during his harassment as well, so yeah, rather bizarre maneuver by him. Fordu, I'm pretty sure he's meant to be a good player, so sending in a Grey Knight squad on their own, I don't know, I'm not really sure what he's thinking of that. I mean, sending in an Assault Marine squad, now that I could agree with, because they can jump in and out quickly, and with melter bombs they can do decent damage against buildings, but Grey Knights just on their lonesome, yeah, I don't know about that. Which has got stand traps being laid by the tower, which is also going to be a freaking pain in the ass for sure, and yeah, of course, got bloody jumping stealths coming in. So actually jumping into the range of the detection radius of the strategic point that listing post is on, but there we go, actually getting out of there just in time, so nice bit of micro there. Keeping them alive, such a shame doesn't at least have a turret there to defend, but yeah, stealths can be a massive, indeed, massive pain in the ass at all stages of the game, well, especially the end game where they can just jump in and yeah, tear you up with the bloody fusion blasters. But the Orc player is taking up though. He's at tier 3 at the very least because he does have the war boss. Indeed, he's got the war boss out, and my god, look at this bloody guy waddling around. It's bloody ridiculous. And here we go. Now we've actually got Librarian and the Terminators coming up. But yeah, they'll be able to do a bit of damage. But there we go. The stealth suits, they're just going to jump around. They're just going to continue harassing. But we at least do have a heavy bolter turret around here. Another heavy bolter turret there, so should be able to provide adequate protection, I think. Only problem is though that it's still going to be anti-vehicle / anti-building units versus heavy bolter turrets. So they'll continue harassing, and Gova's saying gids, indeed, yeah, looks like we've got mass gids coming in for Dono. We've got attached commanders, Big Mac being attached, and where the hell is the okay, the war boss is all the way there. I'm not sure what he's doing there. I'm not really sure what the mega armor knobs are doing there either. But oh well. We also got, I thought we had a orbital bombardments there, but I think it was just the quarter blowing up, so. Also got shooter boys, okay, yep, have the, what is it called, the fight juice ability being used by the Mad Dog, so yeah, stopping all the, oh there's the Horde Champ, yeah, basically using the, yeah, stopping the units from dying, I should say, and ouch, take a bit of damage from that barrage. They're managing to get quite a few out of there just in time. Terminators coming in to reinforce, at least should be able to do a bit of damage against the Sky Missile gunship. Unfortunately, without any assault cannons even, in fact we don't even have an armory for some reason for the Space Marine player, is probably going to get screwed there, but yeah, flash kits though, massive numbers, going to be massive pain now, and wow, actually Govas's Ace is slowly getting torn apart. We even have an orbital bombardment ability being used on the plasma generators, which have been very nicely grouped. Unfortunately, they're not dead though, but just a few more hits and then we get taken out. Govas will be in a lot of trouble. His HQ is still alive, though. I'm not really sure why the war boss wasn't dedicated to taking out the HQ. If he just stayed there for a few more seconds, he would have blown up the HQ and the Govas would have been in a lot of trouble. And really, I mean, these all forces getting so depleted, he might as well have just done that. So we also had a sudden drop in frame rate, not really sure what the hell that's about, what can he do, and yeah, unfortunately it's too late now to take out the HQ, who's so damn close. In my opinion, he should have just focused on that with his war boss. Maybe even just focused on all of his units in general, really, but yeah, unfortunately it's just going to get the crap prepared out of it with the Earth Case builders, and yeah, very unfortunate though. They had a bit of an opportunity there, and they missed it, and it could very well cost them the game actually, because MC Dono did lose his pretty much the entirety of his army in the process. We got what the hell? Oh, okay, explains that. We got stealth suits, of course, coming in to do a bit of harassment behind the Orc lines. It's such a shame they didn't put some warm banners behind there. But what can you do? Mega armor knob. Oh, okay, so I think the mega armor knobs for MC are just meant to be for defense, because they actually act as a detection unit as well as. Yeah, that's what I think he's probably going to be using it for. Only problem is though, is that the mega armored knobs are pretty damn slow to say the least. So, yeah, it's, maybe would have been better off maybe just a couple of war banners scattered around to provide detection, maybe some shooter boys to actually provide the killing power against the stealth suits. But oh well, what can you do? Just got crude hounds coming in, so we'll be having 4 crude hounds. Oh, okay, that's right, we've got 2 tower players. So one of them is going for the Kuyon path, the other one's going for the Montcar path with the Hammerhead gunships. Looks like others going for Hammerhead gunships, and Kinhukutu going with crude hounds, so it's going to have a hell of a mix of troops, to say the least. Well, top right team's going to have a hell of a mix of troops, to say the least. And Gold Stealth Suit's still continuing to be a freaking pain in the ass along this Barracuda, so quite the massive pain in the ass indeed. We do have quite a few forces of orcs coming in, mostly knobs though, with mega armored knobs and grey knights assisting. Interesting, if they can actually get them into range of these troops. Oh, they've still got the heavy gunships not to worry about though, which actually do decent damage against infantry units, even with their railguns. It's just they do quite a bit of damage per shots, and they fire slowly. But the thing is, though, against things like knobs and all that with high amounts of health, they'll do a pretty good job against them, in my opinion. There we go, at least the orcs managed to destroy the hammered gunships. We've still got a couple stealth suits remaining, and we do have librarians and all that ready to eventually snipe them, maybe. Yep, there we go. And bam, wow, walking straight into that. Talk about dramatic deaths and everything. And yeah, once again we see the bottom left team being confined pretty much to their spawn points, but we might actually see something of a comeback from the bottom left team. I mean, it's not even half over yet, so it's probably going to be seeing quite a bit of back and forth action. Bottom left team has been suffering quite a bit this round, but they've somehow managed to hold on though. Squiggle for Donor on the other hand, he seems to be suffering under the corruption ability, or whatever that sort of dark soul power is. Squiggle, yeah, unfortunately getting taken out, and yeah, it's very unfortunate indeed. I'm not really sure if it was worth committing there. Probably could have retreated it a bit, but I suppose it delayed the armor a bit, but in my opinion it would have been even more handy to have that, you know, when all these other orc troops were there as well. But yeah, what can you do? We actually got, yeah, there we go. Greater Narlock coming in for Ken Hakuto as well. So probably Assault Marine's going to be dropped off here as well. We actually got the Furial being deployed at the front as well. Not really sure if you want to be that far forward. Oh, never mind, there's actually going to be Dreadnoughts, yep. A Dreadnought and a second Dreadnought, so what the hell, I'll be able to do a bit of damage I suppose. Although yeah, Greater Narlock, I think, I'm not entirely sure, actually no, it doesn't have that upgrade just yet that you can give the Chaos Path. So we'll see what happens. We've also got the Soulstorm ability itself being used. There we go, mate. Weird to think, Dawn of Soulstorm, we're actually seeing a Soulstorm ability finally being used. Really seen ability to say the least. And we've got Land Raider coming out for Cosmonaut. Is going to be enough? I don't know. Might actually be able to do quite a bit of damage, provided that we do have builder units repairing this thing as it goes. Otherwise it's just going to get slowly whittled down by the hammerhead gunships and stealth suit harassment, which I'm sure will probably follow suit eventually. Also got short strip drones being used by Ken Hakuto. A bit of pain now. Grey Knight's not really being able to do too much, but his forces are coming back into the frame. We've got Terminators with Librarian attached. We've got Grey Knights with the Chaplain attached, and we've got Scout Marines being upgraded with plasma guns for some reason. If I was them, I'd just upgraded with sniper rifles. But well, what can you do? These Grey Knights doesn't look like they've even been upgraded with charge ability, which kind of sucks really. Will certainly come in handy here. But well, what can you do? Yeah, Terminator's coming in at the very least. Land Raider, we've got a Land Raider for Sir Atomic as well, fully hit up with Scout Marines as well. Interesting mixture indeed. And there we go. We might actually be seeing a counter-attack from the bottom left team. Incredible. So it looks like, yeah, top right team unable to press home their advantage too much. We've also got very good use of Assault Terminators being used by Cosmonauts. And yeah, Greater Narlock dying rather dramatically there. With the Assault Terminators, they have a certain percentage chance each to stun with their Storm Hammers, I believe they're called. No, Thunder Hammers, something like that. So yeah, when you have all of them attacking a single target, then yeah, usually their target is not going to be fighting back or even moving much at all, really, for that matter. So there you go. At the same time, we do have Splinter Cannons being upgraded. Not too surprising, as well as Poison Blades being upgraded for Dark Elder forces. Still not really seeing anything too fancy by them. Also got the Spare HQ being built, of course, by Gova. Soul Cage for Vodka, so he's going to be at tier 4. I guess we'll be seeing a dice, or however you pronounce that, a dice of destruction, most likely. It's only really the only reason to get a Soul Cage, although it does allow for another tier 4 vehicle, which was, no, it wasn't the Ravager, sure, it was something else, I think. Can't remember. Ravager there. Huh. Interesting. Alright, that's what we'll see what happens. In any case, Fight Bombers not coming in, and we might actually be seeing a nice little attack by MC Jonah here with a bit of Space Marine support. Okay, Land Raiders should be able to provide a bit of support. Indeed. I'm not really sure what exactly these flash kits are thinking coming in like that, but we've also got the missile barrage coming in. Land Raider, so Atomic is going to want to retreat that though, and we also got well deployed Soulstorm builds being used against the forward placed Orc troops to do as much damage as possible. They're going to be doing well actually it does that friendly fire damage as well actually. High damage to all units caught, yep, so. But since only the only thing that was caught there was a tail, it shouldn't matter too much. Land Raider is going to be hanging back, trying to do as much damage as possible. It's going to be facing off against 3 hammerhead gunships, my god. So Atomic really should have had some sort of builder units reinforcing, to say the least. But, yeah, what can you do? And of course another missile barrage coming in. Let's just see if we can get that from an Astral angle. No, it was cancelled. Oh no, it wasn't cancelled. Oh god, so we got an Astral free-for-all happening. We also got a simultaneous attack happening. A Cosmonaut who actually has finally sent in a building unit to try to repair. Looks like, yeah, managing to tear the crap out of Ken Hutuka's base. This might just be the end. Indeed, this might just be the end for Ken Hutuka, especially if his Cater HQ gets taken. Yeah, maybe not. We'll see what happens. Which I think we also had. Okay, it appears to be Maledictum, the Crystal Malediction. Crystal Malediction. I think that's it, I can't remember. Being used against Assault Terminators, but they weren't attacking each other. In any case, nice micro by Cosmonaut there, but getting his troops back into the Land Raider as soon as the Skyrim missile gunship launched its missiles, so good job there. But the thing is, yeah, the bulk of the tower forces for Kentuka are going to be coming back. We also got the corruption builds that are being used against the Land Raider, which means it's time to retreat. Looks like, unfortunately, the Assault Terminators will be forced to basically stay where they are. Land Raider is not actually going to be going anywhere either, so ouch, quite a devastating blow indeed. The attack is still continuing on Govos' base though, but as you can see, he's mostly rebuilt. His HQ is still intact, his tech buildings are still intact in terms of Path to Enlightenment, and we've got more missile barrages being laid down. Terminator is going to be suffering horribly, provided that missiles actually launch. Never mind, maybe that Sky missile gunship that's going to take them out was finally destroyed. So, very heavy fighting on both fronts. I'm not really sure if Cosmonauts, I believe that was Cosmonauts. Yes, I'm not really sure if Cosmonaut maybe should have just devoted his troops to help out the Orcs and so Atomic attack along just one front, but well, what can you do? Or maybe just devoted some troops, then, you know, maybe devoted a few harassment troops, such as, well, harassment units in general, such as Assault Space Marines, and I suppose you could also send Landspeeder Tempest down with crack missiles to take out some of these tower buildings once you know, everyone was fully committed to this particular flank, but unfortunately he didn't do that. And of course, as they say, hindsight is 2020. So yeah, there's one card command post with others hovering around. A ridiculous way, Terminators also teleporting somewhere or other, not really sure where, as well as, interesting, appears to be a one of those massive bombs by the Orcs being used there. I'm not really sure why they're using it there. In case you're going to be doing a bit of damage, Crisis Battles is coming in to do a bit of damage. They actually upgraded with missile pods, and I want to upgrade with flamers. Usually just see them upgraded with flamers. But yeah, there you go. Sidonia's going to want to get that vehicle out of there pretty damn quickly. We'll see what happens there. And what do you know is, so Atomic has actually gone for stealth scout rates. Damned. He does have heavy weapons available, but he's not actually upgrading more members to Plasma guns, only 2 per squad, so he actually could use them for a bit of harassment actually. It would do a bit of decent damage, but I know he's just keeping it back here for whatever reason. There we go, finally sending a few forward. He's got a few on the back still, so he could have micro his troops around a little bit better, especially since we're not seeing any sort of detection anywhere near here actually, to say the least, but oh well. Can do. Scout Marines are supposed to be able to do a bit of damage. They're not really going to do too well against vehicles and buildings, but since, you know, they're cloaked, whatever bit of bonus damage they can do will be just fine. We actually got True Sight ability. It was not called True Sight, it's called like Piercing Vision actually, being used for the Warriors, which is a bit overkill really, as we do have a Homoculus for Vodka Beer as well, so I'm not really sure why they use True Sight on the Warriors as well. Not True Sight, Piercing Vision. I believe True Sight is actually, Dungeons and Dragons. But anyway. Oh god, and now we're coming in again to do a bit of damage. He's actually not being stunned too much by the Assault Terminators for some reason, but all of them going up on a single unit should be able to take it out. I'm just surprised actually that it's not being... They're still being able to attack though, with that amount of Assault Space Marines using their Warhammer. those thunder hammers on the Great Namak should be able to stun it. I'm pretty sure the Great Chaplain, but just the Chaplain's his little craziest, I think it's like crazy, or whatever the hell it is, it should be able to stun as well. Successful hits. Oh well. Indeed, looks like we got a. Oh, that's good. We actually got the air cast bombardment's ability being used by the. There we go. By the Fuel, and he's going to get taken out. My God, he is actually, which means that Ken Hokuto's troops are going to be suffering massive amounts of morale damage and a little bit of health damage as well, which kind of sucks. He actually is going to be getting his stealth suits back into the fray here, but yeah, they're going to get taken out very quickly as well. So Ken Hotuku, yes, being a bit caught out there, but what can he do? Terminating, teleporting in was almost atomic. I'm not really sure why I teleported them that close to the war beast, unless he intended to get into the Land Raider maybe, I'm not really too sure. In any case, is it the same Land Raider, or is he, you have to rebuild, not really too sure. Huh. In any case, there we go. Ken Hotuku, his base has been destroyed, rather this HQ has been destroyed, yeah, he has built another one. And he does still have the barracks and vehicle plants and all that, so probably not too much of a devastating loss to lose his HQ at this point in the game. Let's just have to see what will happen. Predator actually being upgraded with all las cannons for Sir Atomic, not really oh, actually wait a minute, yeah, against, if it's just going to be used purely against hammer gunships, then yes, we'll definitely want to upgrade it, so that's, which he should be using against vehicles, yes, going to be using against Ravagers and all that, so thank God for that. Troops coming in for the Orcs as well. Looted Remontbus is coming in, Fighter Bomber even trying to attack from across the little river, pretty nasty looking river as well for that matter, to say the least, and Mission of Odysseus even using its Sky thing ability, I can't remember what the hell it's called, but in any case it's doing a bit of damage. They're not really taking out too much actually from what I can tell, at least from the lack of dead bodies on the ground. Doing a bit of damage still though, and that's what counts. Looks like the attack from top right side will actually this time be completely blunted, and we do have a swiggle for MC Junior, as well as Predators, as well as the Land Raider. Oh my God, so Atomic, come on, repair, it's good, it's going to get repaired. And what is saying, god damn it, I think something or other. Oh, never mind. We have Bommel HQ, interesting. God was saying we're too weak, but that's the thing though, it has been back and forth for quite some time actually, so even though if this army here decides to advance once again to Govis's base or to a different base, you could still see their attack being thwarted, but it's kind of hard to tell who's going to win actually, but given the fact that these neutral locations are only just now starting to switch hands, I dare say the overall income advantage will be very slightly going towards the top right team with this critical location being captured, otherwise yeah, it's relatively even actually, but there we go, we finally do have a bit of a charge. Cosmonaut and his compadres leading the way, unfortunately no detection units to take out these stealth suits, which kind of sucks to say the least. Yeah, Big Mech and all that being stuck behind it, Lorpus also being stuck behind. My opinion should be actually getting his troops, ironically, actually should be getting his troops a little bit closer together to provide adequate detection, but well, we can do the stealth suits at least falling prey to the Librarian with attached Terminators, so good job there. And by Cosmonaut, he really should have a builder unit as well just to repair that, but well, builder units are incredibly cheap, and even if they get taken out, you might as well, you know, it's not like if you can't just make more at this stage of the freaking game for that sake. All this was coming in. I'm not really sure why Cosmonaut brought out his squad during that missile barrage. He did have a few of them affected. He's going to be able to, no, unfortunately not going to be able to retreat. He does have the word of the Emperor ability at least being used on the Terminators, and what can we say, yeah, free here as well. Interesting, actually even have warriors being basically retreating from a single Predator, though no, never mind, we do have more of a commitment from Sir Atomic coming in, so will that impact on the tower offensive on this base? I'm not really too sure. Defend, attack them, I'll defend. Okay, so I suppose Govis feels pretty secure, indeed, pretty secure in being able to defend, and we do have some reinforcing Dark Elder troops coming in as well. I think this stick post has been upgraded twice now. Yeah, it's actually using Dark Lances as well, so very nasty, and the Soulstorm ability being very nasty as well, doing quite a bit of area of effect damage there. Thankfully the fighter juice ability being used by June as well, managing to keep many of his troops alive Thank God for that, and yeah, managed to take out the remainder of the Daikor troops. They'll be going for this listing post. Stage chamber has actually been upgraded with that occasional area of effect attack there. Interesting choice actually. And of course, more freaking missile barrages coming down. Thankfully, most of the Orcs managing to avoid that missile barrage, except for these flash kids. MC doing it, could have marked them a little bit better. What can he do? Also got another attack happening here by, again, Kuchubi, going straight for the buildings of Cosmonauts, while the warriors are basically going straight after Dreadnoughts, maybe? Not entirely sure. But in any case, there we go, managing to take out... not bad, actually. Being able to take out the Chapel Barracks, which should be relatively easy to get at this stage. And Great Narlock, pretty sure that las cannon is not really going to do much damage against the Great Narlock or against the Crutox, so the Predator, a little bit out of its depth here, is going to slowly get torn to shreds by the Crutoxes while it shoots its las cannons, although according to the lore in las cannons, you know, should be able to completely destroy regular infantry units and all that. The main drawback, of course, being their massive expense, and of course their low firing speed and quote-unquote ammunition count, but well, what can you do? What the hell? Got something acquired? Ah, okay, skirmish gunship, sorry, acquiring targets there. Launching its missiles like makeshift artillery, and at the same time we do have a continuation of the attack by Orc player, what's his name? That's right, Duner. Not sure why he hasn't attached his Mad Dog to a squad like these flash goods, but yeah, what can you do? Days of Destruction finally being brought out for Vodka Beer. It looks like we've got all turrets being manned, and look at that, we've even got some fancy schmancy slaves for this guy basically to look at. Look at that, well, these guys are shooting the crap out of the Orcs, but he's just sitting back and you know, enjoying the slaves, and just to be sitting around not really doing too much really, sure, to work at. But in any case, yeah, it looks like this Orc attack is going to be forwarded, and they haven't really penetrated too deeply into the Dark Order player's base, although I think maybe the HQ has been destroyed. Yeah, I think it has been. I think the HQ should be around here for them. It has been destroyed. This is quite a grievous blow for them. Indeed, looks like we had, I think, the Ethereal being destroyed there, because yeah, we're seeing the little red symbols coming up. I didn't think that ability, when the Ethereal was actually, when he got killed off, I didn't think that actually would apply, or that penalty, should I say, I didn't think it actually apply to buildings or vehicles for that matter, but what the hell. In any case, knobs are being upgraded with power claws, so making them pretty goddamn useful against buildings, as you can see. Cosmonaut saying 400 blue fast, so looks like top right team is in quite a bit of trouble, but Cosmonaut's base is being entirely destroyed. Ouch, that kind of sucks. But at the same time though, Kenhokutu, his base is getting destroyed as well though, but yeah, he's got way more buildings than Thingamajiggy does, than Cosmonaut does. Cosmonaut, I suppose, does at least have a Land Raider, should be able to take out the Crutox at the very least, but yeah, Stealth Suit should be able to take out Land Raider, provided they can actually, you know, not get detected, just to say the least. And this is rather cute actually. We've got Tank Busters being used against the Korean command post of Kenhokutu. If they can actually take that out, that'd be one hell of a blow. Sorry, one hell of a blow. Top right team, we'll see what happens. The Dreadnought actually coming into a bit of damage against the Witch Cult Arena. So Tomic should have been communicating a little bit with MC Joiner here, or at least he should have noticed, you know, what MC Joiner was originally targeting, so he could have targeted that with his Dreadnought instead. Going for the Witch Cult Arena, not very efficient. Would have been far better off going for the Korean command post. Actually, I've just noticed, oh, that's why it's taking so long to die. This freaking builder is actually continuing to repair it, so ouch, bit of micromanagement there by Joiner. He should have targeted the builder unit for Kenhokutu as soon as it started repairing. Well, actually, Sir Tomic could have easily done that just with his Dreadnought, but I suppose he managed to take out the Witch Cult, and yeah, Sir Tomic's just going to be dropping in his own. Well, actually, no, both Sir Tomic. Well, there you go. He's continuing to drop his own Dreadnoughts in any case, and the attack is actually continuing. I'll be damned. We also got a Greater Narlock for Govas, so that other Greater Narlock by Katuko, or whatever his name is, actually was an upgraded version with more health, as this one does have the lower amount of health. That Greater Narlock is going to do quite a bit of damage. Assault Terminators coming in to try to do whatever they can. Not really sure why he's bothering going after the builders, but he should just be focusing firing on the Crisis Battle Suit. But in any case, yeah, unfortunately, Assault Terminators are going to get taken out. The base is pretty much completely destroyed for Cosmonaut, just listing posts remaining, and yeah, his points are slowly getting captured by the enemy, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, the Kenhotuku, his base is pretty much been destroyed quite a bit, but as you can see, his existing posts are still intact, except for the one in this relic for some reason. So he's done a hell of a lot better than his counterparts down here, which kind of sucks. But what can he do? I think this is going to be the beginning of the end for the bottom left team, unless they can pull something out of their hats. It's going to have to be a hell of a little trick, to say the least. We actually have a bit of widespread destruction coming down in the form of the orbital bombardment, managing to do quite a bit of damage on the remaining troops here. Taking out at least a crisis battle suit, not doing too much else, and we do have a continuation attack by Cosmonaut and Sir Chomek. Will it make much difference? Probably not, especially these hammerheads coming in. We don't have any anti-vehicle units for Cosmonaut. In fact, I don't think we've really seen too much in terms of regular Space Marines for either Space Marine players, really. They could have done with some regular Space Marines, at least, you know, to upgrade them with missile launchers and, you know, whatever else they need at hand, you know, just to take out vehicles. Or they could have gone with a smarter use of Land Raiders, upgraded with las cannons, or I suppose they could have gone with a more mobile force of Land Speeder Tempests. Unfortunately, yeah, going with these lead troops are pretty damn fancy, these Terminators and Assault Terminators, but the thing is, on their own, especially against vehicles, they can only do so much. They really should be supporting something else. And of course, yeah, the destruction of Cosmonaut's base continues. Let's get points, okay. And indeed, that might actually be a bit of an option. Actually, wait a minute, this massive Orc army we're seeing here, I'm just wondering if maybe they should have just been sent around here, or maybe, you know, sent up around here to support the Space Marine attack by Sir Chomek. So sure, in the case, yeah, they actually are tearing up quite a few base buildings, but we're not really seeing anything resembling total collapse like what we've seen here for Cosmonaut's base. Basically, a lot of his points getting captured by the enemy actually, and yeah, even getting his ultra plasma generator, massive plasma generator destroyed. What is it called? A thermoplasma generator, of course. Indeed, and he actually still has a Tau Fire Commander here, which is just going to be chilling out, doing a bit of damage to anyone that comes near him. And interesting. MC Squiggle actually engaging Great on Narlock. Actually, both got equal health. I'm pretty sure who would actually have the advantage there, really. In case, yeah, the Great on Narlock is going to get taken out by a superior massed firepower anyway, and we've got other guys supporting from the rear. Flash kits could be sent out a little bit further ahead. Not really sure what happened to these guys, getting thrown back and one dying there, but what can you do? The Town Force is getting taken out, and again the Ethereal, he gets taken out. Kinhotuku, interesting, I think that was the real Ethereal, not really too sure. I think can't remember if they can use a hallucinate ability, or if that's a different faction in this game. Or if that's just something from StarCraft that's not in this game, but anyway. And yes, a very insane game indeed, to say the least. We've had both teams trying to destroy each other, but unfortunately not being able to make anything work. The critical locations still are not in either one or the other team's hands entirely, which I find utterly bizarre. I do say the top right team doesn't have the advantage though, in terms of having captured the flag points of or strategic points and all that of their enemies. So good job by not being able to do that much damage, while the top right team's bases should say, are mostly intact. So there you go, and yeah, very good harassments by these goddamn steel suits as well. These guys getting a little bit too close comfort there, but there you go, managing to take them out. Kinhotuku is trying to defend, why not? And yeah, Shikolo is going to get taken out. So sucks to say the least. We haven't got a couple of crisis battlesuits coming in. We do have teleporting Terminators though. Will it make much of a difference? Well, I suppose they could focus fire on the crisis battlesuits, then take out the stealth battlesuits straight after. But crisis battlesuits, pretty hardy little troops to say the least. Even though if they're portrait, it looks kind of ridiculous, little box heads and everything. But there you go, managing to do quite a bit of harassment with very pesky stealth suits, and yeah, they're quite a pain in the ass really to take down. And they can just jump around like that. So I'm not really sure if they'd be called overpowered, but they are very hard to counter when they just jump in and out like that. But in any case, there we go, Librarians. Attached Terminators will be taking out the Crisis Battlesuits, and there we go, finally able to go straight for the Stealth Suits. We do still have one more Crisis Battlesuit here with the Missile Pulse upgraded, so we should be able to do quite a bit of damage against buildings, as well as more troops coming in, combined armies of Tau and Dark Elder just continuing to assault. But we do have a little movement coming, a little pincer movement, I suppose you could say, by MC, whatever his name is again. Let's call him MC actually. MC and the Terminators all coming in. So you're kind of trying to pincer in the forces on the top right team here, and actually it seems to be sort of working really, except for the little counter-attack by these warriors going straight for the tank busters. A little bit of damage, but there we go, nice disruption by the fighter bomber. Surprised actually that MC hasn't gone with a couple more of them. Think about it, and yeah, Scourge is continuing to harass. It looks like cosmonauts. Wait a minute, no, so this is going to be atomic space here. In any case, yeah, they're both space marine bases here, slowly getting taken out. Pretty much all their production buildings have been destroyed, and yeah, the infrastructure of the bottom left team is suffering immensely, and that's probably going to be the killing blow on Car by the top right team. I mean, just whittling away at the. We're just whittling away at the infrastructure of the bottom left team while basically keeping their infrastructure more or less intact from what I can tell. Although, as you can see, Durner, his infrastructure is pretty well intact. Got crap loads of war banners actually. Yeah, probably could do with a few war banners around here actually. I'm not sure if you can build an number of war banners or not. But in any case, we actually do see flash kits again being basically tossed straight into the fray with no on the lead troops or anything like that to help them out. Thankfully, we do have some Mad Dogs, which has basically been a bit of a lifesaver really for MC Duena. His flash kits actually being forced to target each other thanks to the Crucible of Malediction. They're also being used by the Arkle squad of the Dark Elder, but thankfully, yeah, they did have a fight-induced ability, so yeah, it stopped them from dying. In fact, that ability still seems to be active. Duena really should be retreating ouch, ability wearing off, and yeah, loses basically the entire squad as a result. But frankly, we do have other forces reinforcing as well, including an Assault Land Raider. Don't know how much difference it's really going to make, but at least we do have some tank thrusters with their own fancy schmancy rocket launchers coming in to hopefully do a bit of damage, taking down the infrastructure of the top right team. Can Hotuka go for Orcs indeed? But in my opinion, yeah, they're not really going to be able to do too much damage. Yeah, in my opinion, when it comes to these Space Marine players, I mean, good use, relatively good use of their high-end units like the Land Raiders, Assault Terminators, regular Terminators. Very nice as well, but the use of more regular troops would have really helped them immensely, as well as doing a bit more harassment of their own. I mean, it's just a couple of Assault Space Marine squads or Land Speeder Tempest with crack missiles would have done a hell of a lot of damage, but yeah, unfortunately, unfortunately, yeah, they didn't really do that. In my opinion, it really would have helped them immensely, especially when we had a few different moments during the game where everyone's forces basically was concentrated in just one or two areas. Land Speeder Tempests could have been sent in to, yeah, basically do to the enemy team what the stealth battle suits were doing to the bottom left team basically the entire game, which was, yeah, just harassing buildings where there are out too many units to actually defend, which, interesting to say less, but there you go. What the hell? Oh, these Gretchens can actually repair the squig off because it counts as a vehicle. Okay. Oh, that's right. It counts as a heavy transport as well. That little bit's up there. An assault transport, as it were. Looks like a BMP-3 with tusks. But in any case, Land Raider also being sent in. I'm not really sure why Cosmonauts sending in him point-blank range. I suppose also to get his Terminators in. They do also have a Sky Missile Gunship coming into a bit of damage, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that forces of Cosmonaut and MC are just going to get torn up here. In my opinion, they really should be retreating in the face of superior firepower. At least we do have cloaked Gretchens that actually are going to be repairing this squig off, but yeah. Yeah, they're just going to get taken out. Yep. Ouch. Sucks to say, but Estonian Gretchen also getting taken out in droves. So the area of effect ability as well, and yeah, these two CPRs and Watch are just going to get taken out. And I don't think the bottom left team has got much left to defend though. So yeah, some interesting play by both teams though. In my opinion, preservation of forces could have indeed. Yeah, should have played a much larger role. Both teams basically throwing away units in these sorts of attacks when really they should have retreated when they had the chance, but yeah, quite a bit of that just comes down to them penetrating too far into the enemy base and then basically just allowing themselves to get enveloped really and destroyed that way. So Atomic is still coming in with unupgraded with Terminators this time, which is kind of funny. I don't think it's going to do too much damage really. We'll see what happens though. And we do have an Assault counter-attack by Dark Elder, actually doing quite a bit of damage. Actually not really doing much damage to these war banners, that's well, I'm not really sure if a few of them have been upgraded, probably not from what I can tell. Oh well, there we go, mentions rebuff the attack, but here we go, lo and behold, here comes the freaking Barracuda, which is going to be a massive pain in the freaking ass. This thing is... what the hell? Oh, okay, it's got its own rocket launcher, which is going to be a pretty good use against the Barracuda, actually. It'll be able to take it out on its own. Just need Gretchen to be able to repair this, so very nicely done, actually. To show me indeed. So yeah, we did have a bit of a counter-attack by the Dark Elder and the Talia, but yeah, not really being able to do too much damage. Still suits being a bit of a pain in the ass, but now we go, we've got detection coming in. Form of the big mech. Managing to get some stealth suits out of there just in the nick of time, and look at that. Hammer Plasma Generator again is undefended by Cosmonaut, which sucks to say the least. We do actually still have some tank busters. Indeed. We actually do have some tank busters being used by Dilnui. I suppose if he's got him behind enemy lines, he might as well, yeah, there we go, put him to use. Huh. Indeed. And there we go, it's actually quite a bit of capturing point. Not bad. Not bad indeed. But the thing is though, these strategic points have still been held by the top right team this entire time. If we have a look at the reverse though, basically almost none of the listing posts or strategic points have been taken out by the bottom left team, which kind of sucks to say the least. Land Raider also getting overwhelmed there, so yeah, basically bottom left team is sending whatever they can basically against the enemy, and it's just being sent in piecemeal. It's not really going to be able to do too much really. Actually, is the field detecting detects infiltrated units? I'll be damned. There you go. I'm not really sure what the hell this Great Analog is doing fighting against the tank busters. It's pathing. It's interesting. I don't think I've seen that bug before. But you can see it was trying to play the attack animation, but it was screwing up, so I'm not sure what the hell's going on there. Actually, a couple more Dreadnoughts being dropped in by Sir Tomek actually would have really done him a lot of favours with the relatively light defending forces we have here, but yeah, well, what can you do? Yeah, this is probably going to be the final attack by the top right team, although maybe not actually. We do have their hammerhead gunships being focused and destroyed by the Predators, but we still have one gunship missile. No, sorry, not. We've got one Sky missile gunship there, should I say, and one hammerhead gunship there. Jeez, it's been tongue-tied tonight for some reason. Probably because I've been commentating continuously for almost an hour now. But there we go. It was an interesting game by Govis, so thanks Govis for submitting the game. And yeah, if you have a particularly interesting replay, then yeah, I suppose you can just upload it on replay on gamereplays.org. Let me know. I certainly can't guarantee that I'll actually, you know, look at it, particularly if it's an hour long. But what the hell? I mean, this one seemed alright. But I'll have a look at it. Speaking of which, I actually got a multiple compartments ability being used, damaging vehicles and troops alike. Although the Dreadnought Sir Tomek unfortunately getting caught in the crossfire there. Dice of Destruction. Still got plenty of health left, despite the fact that it's a pretty fragile unit for super heavy. And the Optimal Battle still continues to do as much damage as possible. I don't think it actually has a jump ability. Yeah. Indeed. And yep, Cosmonaut being kicked, so yep. A very good game indeed, both teams really giving it their all, but yeah, I've got to give it to the top right team for harassing and destroying enemies' infrastructure. In my opinion, that was partially what won them the round. The other part was the bottom left team sacrificing their forces when they should have retreated them instead and regrouped. Basically, yeah, charging into the enemy's base like that was pretty detrimental in quite a few cases. Thing is though, if you have a look at the main entrances into the bases, they're basically wide corridors, so you know, if you set up your guys to try to do a bit of damage against the enemy player's base, it's kind of easy to get caught up like that, so you just got to watch out for that happening on this map. You definitely don't want to have your forces enveloped and then destroyed, because that means the enemy can then try to march on your base and take it out. But there you go. Just got the malediction, crystal malediction ability being used. Although these guys not actually attacking each other for some reason. I'm not really sure why. That's what crystal malediction ability is meant to be doing. What the? Oh, Burner Bomb. Actually, that should do a bit of damage against the Fire Warriors. Oh my god, how the hell did they survive that? They survived with next to no freaking health. But at least I suppose It should make them much harder, much easier to take out. My standard troops, only problem is, yeah, flash kits and all that being forced to retreat, and yeah, Mad Dog's not being able to do too much, so Fire Warriors, quite a few of them actually managing to survive, a few of them getting killed outright, but yeah, many of them just being able to survive next to no health, which kind of sucks. I think there's Ken Hokuto, so I believe there'll be the ones who've upgraded heavy elite infantry armor as well under the Kuyun command post. I'm pretty sure that's what it should be. In any case, yeah, Warp is coming in to basically do as much damage as possible. Vodka Bearer did a pretty good job actually keeping the morale of these bastards up actually, because once their morale drops down to 0, they actually attack each other rather than just doing piss poor amounts of damage. So yeah, and I haven't noticed them getting demoralized. Of course, now that I say that, it looks like some of them have been demoralized. Oh, we've got 2 squads of them, I think. It's kind of hard to tell really the amount of carnage that's happening there. We even got another... Oh, here we go. Another burn bomb being deployed, and my god, these freaking bodyguards though, they can take quite a bit of damage, which is kind of ridiculous. Vodka saying upload it somewhere, yep, to game replays in fact, and it's actually going to be commentated on, so who to think that would be the case, eh? So you can mention got the Ethereal being taken out for Ken, it seems, and not really going to make much of a difference though, but yeah, there you go. We've got Squigoth just using its ranged zap gun against the Greater Narlock, as well as a couple of heavy bolters, actually heavy bolters, big shooters, pretty much work like heavy bolters really. What is a tie game? Not too shabby, good play by both teams. Bottom left team unfortunately not being able to inflict the killing blow on the enemy's infrastructure, although these tank busters though, they are, and the Dreadnought actually are being a pain in the ass though, so actually managing to clear out one base, but yeah, it is really a matter of too little too late really, so we're just going to be seeing a bit of a mop-up operation here. Stealth suits don't want to get too close to these war banners. Actually, I suppose it can now actually, there's not too many war banners left now, so we should be able to take it out with relative ease. Predator with las cannons, yeah. It's going to be great against vehicles. The only problem is though, is that you can't just get rid of the las cannons and replace them back for the regular weapons. So what many players do usually, I believe, is they just replace the main cannon, or was it the sponsoring las cannons? Shit. Well, they replace one or the other with the las cannon, and that basically allows the Predator to be a hybrid anti-infantry / anti-vehicle tank, and if it encounters enemy vehicles, because you've already got one or these 2 upgrades done, then it should be relatively quickly to upgrade the rest of its weapons to las cannons, then yeah, you can use them against enemy vehicles that way. But yeah, las cannon equips Predator, pretty devastating to enemy vehicles, but the thing is, quite a bit of the time, as you saw, they were not being used against enemy vehicles, so you have to watch out for that. You definitely don't want wrong unit types engaging and all that. It's certainly a bit of a rock, paper, scissors game, this one to say the least. With Hammerhead gunships basically destroying everything. Especially numbers. I mean, railguns, they're kind of like very slow firing regular cannons, but as you can see, we do have also missile launchers, and I believe we also got burst cannons. Yep, a couple of burst cannons which look suspiciously like miniguns. Little burst, energy burst miniguns, which can do a bit of damage against light stuff as well, so you don't have to waste too many shots taking out light stuff. In any case, yeah, the forces actually getting taken out of the town here, which is quite amazing actually. I'm surprised that the game hasn't ended yet. So very fierce defense by Duners, or we'll just call them MC and Tomic, but yeah, they're just going to get completely whittled down. They did have some possible opportunities here with harassing units, but yeah, it's just too late really to make too much of a difference now. And now we've got Stingwings tearing apart these orcs, you can see, so getting them stuck in the ground. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Damn it, I want to... damn it, I want to show a rather bit of an odyssey when it came to that death animation there, but nope. Orc player unfortunately played from existence. Oh, nice job using loot from tanks as well. Acting as a nice little artillery unit. The regular Monrusas, they do not act like that in Dawn of War Soulstorm, but yeah, the looted Monrus tank, yeah, very nice little artillery tank, and it's got heavy bolters as well for close-in attack as well, so fortunately yeah, it does get taken out, and we do have a very annoying orbital, or not orbital, but aerial castle bomb being used. Looks like we also got a few getting killed off though, so Oh god, the Orcs might be able to hold on a little while longer, but yeah, it's not going to make too much difference. I might just fast forward a bit actually. Nothing much unexpected happening now. Bottom of the team is basically being whittled down, although I'm surprised actually at the resilience that the Space Marines and Orcs are showing actually. Well, the remaining Space Marines and Orcs are showing. They're basically staying in the fight regardless of the fact that they've lost a player and the fact that we've got continuous Tau and Dark Elder forces basically bearing down on them, but nope, not doing that at all. Draenor now looks stomping around trying to do a bit of damage. Land Raider doing a bit of damage as well, but yeah. My hands are stiff off. Oh, indeed, and yep, here goes the base for the Space Marines. So we should have just a stronghold remaining. Okay, then that's it for Sir Atomic. So how the mighty have fallen, eh? And yeah, there's certainly more a couple of surprises. A little bit was actually given away in the description of the replay, which kind of sucked to say the least. But yeah, definitely was quite a bit of back and forth action. We do have the burner bomb ability being used, but the thing is, without any follow-up fire, these Final Warriors will just continue shooting pretty safe distance. So Atomic being destroyed, and yeah, looks like the settlements will soon get destroyed as well. So yeah, nice little game indeed. So yes, thanks to Gorvaz yeah, thanks to him for submitting this game. It was a bit long, but yeah, pretty nice bit of back and forth action. We did have a couple of lulls here and there, but really, I mean, that's kind of to be expected for a game of this length, to say the least. So there you go. I'll leave you with a really annoying engine noise of the Barracuda there, because the game decided to end while the Barracuda was flying like that. There we go. Just go back to that. Oh, never mind. Huh. Nice little end of replay sound like that. So there you go. Until next time, this has been Dame Vidge signing off.